Hello and welcome. It's me, Persita, and this is Persita's Paradox. Thank you so much for joining me today. I greatly appreciate you, your time, and effort in finding me on this thing called YouTube. If you're new to the channel, thank you so much for joining me as always. And if you are an OG, my God, thank you so much for your continued support. I greatly appreciate you more and more and more every single day. So today, what shall we talk about? Well, let's talk about friendships, and let's talk about, do we really know our friends? And you may say, seriously, Persita, like, of course I know my friends. Like, they're my friends. And that's how I know that they're my friends, because I know my friends and my friends are my friends. The funny part about that statement is there's so many relationships that are based on, let's say, outdated facts, right? And you use the word friend a little bit more loosely than you should. And I want to talk to you today about really evaluating your friendship so that you have a clear idea of the people that are around you. You may say, well, how do you do that, Persita? Well, let's talk about it. The question for you today is, do you know your friends? And you may say, again, like, I don't think you comprehend, Persita. I've been friends with this person for 20 years, for 30 years, and they definitely know me. And, you know, we've done all these things and so forth together, and that's my friend. Well, let me propose to you today that just as anything in life, people and things change. And it's very complicated to keep things up if we don't comprehend this idea of actually feeding into something, right? So let's think about it like if it was a plant. When a plant starts off, it's typically smaller in nature. Sometimes we can get a full-grown plant, but you get the gist. It's growing in a pot, particularly, and the pot is not its final destination, especially if it's able to grow. There's going to be a progression over the time of said plant that needs to transport itself, or for you to transplant it to another bowl or planter, right? I think friendships are very similar. I feel as if there's something that we somehow forget, that even though we've built our relationships, no matter what, we're talking friendships right now, there's always going to be an outside entity or entities that will change the trajectory of how the friendship goes. Now, I've said numerous times that it takes somewhere between, 3,000 to 5,000 hours minimum to become an acquaintance. And when we think of the word acquaintance, I want you to understand that it is just that. It's like a colleague. It's like someone that you may go and eat lunch with, but you're not giving any personal information to. You're not calling in the middle of the night for any drama or trauma. You're not giving any personal family issues. You're not talking about your health, your sex life, nothing, right? These are just people that you are genuinely cool with, but there's no depth to it. In order to have depth, there is a necessary need for at least 20,000 hours of connection, okay? So I want you to be clear. No less than 5,000 as an acquaintance, and as much and even more as 20,000 for a close friend. Now you may say, well, how do you determine these hours, Persita? Think about it. Think about it. How many friends have you had in your life, or still may have, that you've known for years? But then you break down in that year how often you actually speak. Now, we're not talking about when you actually built the foundation of the relationship, because we know that the foundation is pretty solid. Catch what I'm saying? When you think of the plant's roots are solid. That's not the issue. Even when you're transplanting the plant, the roots of the plant remain solid, but they grow. So I'm going to ask you again. When you think about the idea of how many hours you actually speak to the person that you're considering this close friend, right? And I'm not saying it skeptically. I'm just saying it. I want you to really consider how many hours within a week you speak, a month, 6 months, a year. So many times I've seen on the internet now, people will say, my friends are always my friends, and I know that life gets in the way, and there are things that happen, and you're not really always able to be friends. And all of this is true. But I want you to really think about something, even in saying that statement, because I understand the foundation of it, but it goes a little deeper. If I've not spoken to you in 5 years, how exactly are we still close? If you have an item in your closet and you haven't worn it for 5 years, it could still look great, right? Fabric be intact, the tag still be on it, but when you wear it, is it still in style? Is it still relevant? Can it actually keep up with all of the years that have actually transpired while it was still in the closet? If you get what I'm trying to say, it's not as if the friendship necessarily changes, but the environment of the friendship changes, which makes the friendship different. People so often think about the idea that you can just walk away from a person, but I want you to think of the idea of people's mental health right now. And I want you to think of how popular that statement is, to have this need to make sure that your mental health is safe. And then I want you to think about how you feel when you're actually speaking to your friend and when you feel lonely not speaking to your friend, and really sit in that for a second and understand why I challenge that statement to say, sure, we're still acquaintances, but would I call you really a friend if I can't call on you as a friend? If I can't confide in you, it doesn't make me not understand that life has grown and you have grown and we have now transplanted to a new pot. But I question, once the transplant has happened of said plant, are you still watering it? Because guess what? Even if you're transplanting the pot, the first thing you have to do is to actually overwater it and make sure the nutrients are in it to make sure that the roots stay strong. And if you catch what I just said with that, that's just as important as identifying time or anything else. As you grow, you have to refortify everything. Even if you're thinking of a home and you're thinking about the foundation of a home, you have to make sure that the foundation is secure. And even if it is, because the things around the foundation can shift, it could cause the foundation to shift. And with that being said, you can kind of see why I'm saying do more than just saying that your friend is your friend. Make sure that you know your friend. Make sure that you've taken the time as often as possible to reach out, to communicate, to tell them you love them, to make some type of adjust, to find 5, 10, 20 minutes out of your life as often as you can if they're really your friend. Because if you understand what I'm trying to say and all the examples that I'm using, you have to continuously fortify the foundation, because it's not the foundation that's breaking. It's the things around the foundation that can cause the foundation to break. So if I am watching the environment and I know what I'm stressing about and I know what my life is going through and I understand the acquaintances around me are going through stuff, if you're my friend, then I would really have to know that things have to be happening in your life. And I would be concerned and I would want to know. And I feel the same way about the people who I call friend and vice versa. So if you can kind of grasp it, it's a little bit of a challenge. It's a mature way of thinking about it. But it really is a matter of taking it deeper than just life gets in the way and, we just have all of this time that we don't really get to communicate. Because let's just be honest. To try to have a conversation with someone once you've not spoken to them for a length of years, little complicated. It also tells you how important that thing is, that relationship is. Because again, things that you are really concerned about, you're going to take the time. Because it's crucially important for you to continuously nurture and nourish the roots of that great foundation that you call friendship. So as always, all I'm going to ask you to do before you do any of that is to remain solid in you and to do 3 things. Live life authentic. Live life authentic. And do that by being a solid friend If you've come this far, thank you so much, as always, for staying with me. I greatly appreciate you. I hope this video was one that could help you today. And please be so kind as to like, share, and comment. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification button. Do all of those other cool things. Make sure that you are in touch with me, even on Instagram. Follow me at Persita's Paradox on Instagram, and also Living Persita. One is daily motivation and the other is fashion and all the cool stuff. I know I keep saying it because I keep getting asked, oh, Persita, you were wearing makeup and you were feeling good. I'll try to do it over here every blue moon, but sometimes when I'm shooting the video, it just does not seem to warrant my time to do it, because I want to get on and I want to make sure that I'm giving you some sense of a tool to make life easier. So do that solid for me. Make sure that you are doing all that you can do to be the best you can be. And I will talk to you soon. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.